The angels are singing, worshiping and praising the Most High with the very oldest language on the face of this very earth, the Igbo language. And that's how I'm going to pray. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọbụla anyị ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọbụla anyị ya bụ ọkaka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etuga eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, ndị gboo wee tuo oge ebighị ebi. Onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ, nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onwe ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịrị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. N'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọ bịa mere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ wee na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt ka otu a wee wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbe ekwensu bụ zuu nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị niile anyị ga-ekele ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ n'ụtụ na-eji ama mgbe niile. N'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị, anyị onwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọbịa mere iji wee na-agọzi nzọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọbịa mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile, anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị na-efe nwa anyị akpụ isi ala nye, ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ na ija mma, na-asị lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasị wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụghị ikunye ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwa n'ihi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anya ọnwa anyị bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkwa ha nsọ gị, na-asị na enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana nwere onye kere na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi, mara onye ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise.
Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you're joining me from any part of the world, I really must appreciate you. I thank you for your contributions on the channel. Please, each time you join my channel, go to the comment section and express yourself. After watching the video, whatever you have as your own contribution, put it down at the comment section. I really will appreciate it. I thank you all who are commenting on the comment section. I read your comments from time to time, and I must tell you, I am very much encouraged. For those who disagree and those who are making some argument, I really respect your argument, but we must have to follow the truth at all times. Regardless what you think, regardless what you say, the truth must always stand. It doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what you think within yourself, but the truth must also stand. We have to follow the truth. Whatever you know is the truth, continue to say it. As you all know, we can never relent in our effort. We continue to speak every now and again. We speak nothing but the truth. We will say it the way it is. As you all know, we have no voice in the conventional media. We have no voice in the international media. But in the social media, that is where we express ourselves. We say it the way it is. We say how we feel, and we tell the world the real situation of the things happening in Nigeria. That is what we're here doing. To tell the real situation of the things happening in Nigeria. Some of us will say we are not on the ground. We are not on the ground, but we have a lot of people on the ground who are giving us information on what is happening on a daily basis. And sometimes we get information firsthand, even before those who are in Nigeria are able to know about it. That is why we cannot be silent. Whatever platform you have, no matter how small, no matter how big, continue to use it to preach this gospel of peace. Continue to use it to preach this gospel of freedom. Continue to use it to preach this gospel of referendum, so that every indigenous tribe in that very contraption will have the right to decide their fate. That is what we are asking for. And that has been the message of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has been asking for the freedom of every indigenous tribe in that very contraption called Nigeria. He wasn't only asking for the freedom of the Igbos. He wasn't only asking for the freedom of the Biafrans. He wasn't only asking for the freedom of the Southerners. He was also asking for the freedom of every indigenous tribe in that contraption called Nigeria. And he has demonstrated it from the beginning. Even when he was arrested in 2015, he was making a case for those who are from the north. He made a case for them. He even led a complaint about their issues, left his own by the side and began to complain about people's own. He was fighting for them. He paid for most of their lawyers. That was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing while he was in prison last time. And now you know they have abducted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again through extraordinary rendition and brought him to Nigeria. And now he is in the hand of this DSS. But that will not stop the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to continue to spread. As we all know, the real truth about the situation now is that the federal government of Nigeria has no new charge against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know the government of Nigeria, because they are in charge of the media, they are in charge of all the conventional media in Nigeria. They always use the media to push their lies, to push their agenda, to push false narrative against people. That is what they are doing against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why you must have to speak up. Use your platform. I told you that the media war is starting now. The media war is getting harder now. They were pushing all manner of narratives, telling us that they have more charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, bringing all kind of charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But from every indication, through what our lawyer saw in the court, there is no new charge against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What they have in the court is still the old charges they have against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which you and I know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not guilty of any of those charges, because there is no proven evidence that they have. That was why initially Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail, and they couldn't bear it. They came to his house to kill him. Then he ran away for his life. By the grace of Chukwuka, he survived. They weren't able to kill him. But today, you see, after abducting him, they are now coming with their media war, going to the media to tell us that they have more charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, naming all kind of charges, what they were reading in their media. You saw the Attorney General of the Federation coming to the media to read all manner of lies, all manner of charges they were bringing against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But from the court, which is the reality on the ground, in the court, there is no new single charge against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the lawyer of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has confirmed that. Our lawyer confirmed that. The lawyer of Biafra confirmed that there is no new charge against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They will continue to push their lies, but we will never relent. We will continue to debunk that lie. We will continue to debunk that lie. And as you all know, the DSS have once again refused the lawyer of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to see him. They have refused the lawyer from meeting him. The lawyer went again after the court have given order that the DSS should allow the lawyers to see him at least twice in a week. That was the order that was given in the court. As you all know, Nigeria is a lawless country. They have flouted the order again and refused the lawyers of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to meet him, and they were not able to see him when they went to see him after the judge must have issued an order for them to see him. That is where we are. A lawless country. How can you be lawless and claim that you are judging somebody who is lawful? How can you be going against lawful people when you are lawless? This is where we have found ourselves, and we will not relent in our effort. We will not stop talking. We will continue to say it the way it is, the truth and nothing but the truth. We will continue to expose them. That is why we are here. Our lawyer have found out so many things that are not right in that, and we will continue to preach it and continue to say they cannot jail our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because they have no exit against him. The only thing that they have against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are lies, bunch of lies, and their media trial can never fly. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter what they plan. Their media trial can never fly. It is now clear before the whole world that there are no charges against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why they are coming to media to begin to propagate lies, to begin to make their case in the media instead of going to the court. Where do you prove your case? It is only in the law court that you can prove somebody guilty. It is only in the law court that you can bring your evidence and show that somebody have done something or not. But for the fact that these people have no evidence against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they have refused to come to court. Instead, they decide to keep our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under lock and key. And we cannot accept that. We can't accept that. If they are bold enough and know they have confidence to stand and face the Biafrans and face our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, why not come to the court? Why not come to the court? The only thing that is making them to shy away from the court is because they have no evidence against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In their frivolous charges that they are presenting, no more charges, no new charges have been added to that very case. They are only talking on the media. But in the court, the real thing is that our Supreme Leader remains innocent. And he is innocent. They cannot prove him guilty of any kind of crime, of any sort of crime. Just as they did in the past. They were not able to succeed. Up till now, they cannot succeed. They can't succeed. Our Supreme Leader is innocent. And we cannot allow them to keep him under lock and key. That is why the DOS has made an announcement that starting from August 9th, there will start to be a sit-at-home order. Every Monday, starting from August 9th, until our Supreme Leader is being released. Until the Supreme Leader is being released, there will be a sit-at-home order in Biafra land. In Biafra land, and everybody must comply. Everybody must comply. When you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in jail, every Biafran is locked up in jail. Don't think you are free. The lockup of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the lockup of every Biafran, every well-meaning person in that contraption called Nigeria. You don't have to rejoice. Don't rejoice that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is locked up, and don't go and sit back that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is locked up. This is time for you to open up your mouth and speak more than ever. Every well-meaning person from the southern part of Nigeria, more especially, open your mouth and speak. You can see what is going on. Even our brother Igboho in the southwestern part of Nigeria, who is standing for the Oduduwa, is still facing trial in the Republic. And the hand of the government of Nigeria is in all this, creating delay in their trials. You can see Sunday Igboho still pursuing his own case in the Republic, up to date. But thank God, he cannot be extradited there now. No matter the string they are trying to pull, no matter the plans they are making on the ground to see that they can be able to remove Sunday Igboho from the Republic back to Nigeria, I pray that it can never work. And Chukwu Gabiama will not allow them to succeed. It doesn't matter how they try to delay Sunday Igboho in his case in the Republic, he must surely emerge victorious. We don't have to stop talking. This is the time we have to talk more. We have to talk more and reflect back to every information that our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given to us. We have to reflect back to every message that he has passed to us. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I must tell you, have laid a strong foundation for our success. He has made a strong foundation for us to achieve our freedom. Every indigenous person in that contraction called Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid a foundation for you to take up your freedom by yourself. Nobody's going to give you your freedom. You have to take it. And the time to take your freedom is now. Follow those steps. Don't be afraid. For the people of the southeastern part of Nigeria, a security is there for you. A security outfit is there. Eastern Security Network, they are still working 24/7. 24/7. And nothing will happen to you. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You see the sit-at-home order that was being made. The ESN will enforce it to the last level because they are still on the ground. They are not fighting against the innocent masses. They are not acting against the innocent people, but they are keeping law and order in the southeastern part of Nigeria and make sure that the terrorists do not take us over. Let us listen to one of the messages of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that we can refresh ourselves. As I always tell you, his messages is as new every morning as ever. When you hear it, it will refresh you and give you more strength. Let us listen to our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, once again.
You are listening to Nightline Africa on the English service of the Voice of America. I'm your host, Peter Clotte in Washington, D.C. Coming up in the second half of Nightline Africa, the Saturday music spot from our collection of music from the continent. But first, Nnamdi Kanu is the head of the indigenous people of Biafra, or IPOB, a group agitating for what it says is the independence, who was recently released from prison after Nigerian authorities accused him of treason. He has often championed a strategy of civil disobedience to press home IPOB's demands to free his people. However, his critics say he is a rabble-rouser who seeks to undermine Nigeria's unity as well as its territorial integrity. Nnamdi Kanu joins me live in the viewing studios here in Washington, D.C. How are you, Nnamdi?
Thank you very much, Peter. Thanks for having me here.
All right, so you said you want to free your people.
Yes.
What does this mean, and what does that entail?
It means the total, unequivocal extrication of the territory of Biafra from the present contraption, or should I say British contraption known as Nigeria. Complete and total sovereignty for the state of Biafra.
So you want to be independent or succeed from Nigeria, correct?
We are not actually seceding. We are going back to the way we were before the British came.
So do you think the authorities in Nigeria as it stands now, one, and indefensible, or as authorities say, the separation of Nigeria is unwarranted and will not be entertained in any circumstances? Do you think your objective is achievable?
It is achievable because you would expect any dictatorial state, you would expect any backward banana republic, which Nigeria has become, to speak in exactly those terms. But what they have cleverly forgotten is that they are the instigators of separation. They are the ones making the polity ungovernable. They are the ones going about pillaging, killing, sacking villages and occupying them. They are the ones that have taken nepotism to a new and unbelievable level. They are the ones running Nigeria as if it is a private family business. They are the ones that have promised and sworn to bring Islam into Biafra land. They are the ones arming and equipping the 4 known terror groups you have in Nigeria to cause havoc and kill innocent people. We are not going to fold our hands and watch this continue to happen. The same set of circumstances obtained in 1966 when over 300,000 Biafrans were slaughtered in the north. That led to the declaration of the state of Biafra in 67. This time around we are far more prepared, far more knowledgeable, far more aware, and far more exposed to allow the same thing to happen to us again. They promised to Islamize and to colonize us, but we will not allow that to happen.
So let me ask you this. Recently, when Nigeria held elections, you made a proclamation about a support for one party or another. People say, if you want an independent state, why support a party to participate in an election that you don't believe in, that really undermines your objective of having an independent state of Biafra?
First of all, we are Democrats, and secondly, we did not advocate for the voting of any particular party. What we said very clearly is that the policies of APC, as championed by the cabal who are in charge in Abuja, is not sustainable and cannot be supported. We also wanted to demonstrate our ability to be flexible and more so to respond to the yearnings and aspirations of our elders who demanded and pleaded with us to allow the voting to go ahead. But what I can say to you is that voting in Nigeria, as you've well seen, thankfully you were there to observe it, is not only shambolic, but is an exercise in futility. Voting doesn't count in Nigeria. People voting in Nigeria is a wasted effort. All the ballot boxes, all the ballot papers, all the polling stations belonging to Biafrans in Lagos, for instance, Abuja, Kanu, Kaduna, and Zaria, were all destroyed during the election day, rendering it absolutely useless. What they have said to us is that we do not belong to Nigeria, we are not part of Nigeria. It is even a worse form of apartheid than what obtained in South Africa. Those are the conditions we are being forced to live under. Where the circumstances allowed us to participate, of course, we said we are lifting the boycott, but as you can see, regardless of what you do, the outcome is always predetermined. The Fulanis in the north will always write the results, and the army will enforce it, and the court will rubber stamp it, and that's where we are today.
Does your cause entail in engaging with the government to achieve your objective, or does that also entail picking up arms against the administration or the state of Nigeria?
Not at all. We are averse to picking up arms. We are not interested in armed struggle. We believe that ideologically and intellectually that this war can be won, and won very convincingly. Therefore, there will be no recourse to armed conflict. But in terms of dialogue, you can't say no to discussing with people. If they want to discuss the terms of separation, we are more than willing to accommodate them. But one thing is obvious. We are not going to stop until Biafra is restored. Our approach of civil disobedience and making sure that nothing functions that will benefit the central government in Nigeria continues unabated. We don't intend to slacken. We don't intend to retreat any iota. And believe you me, that Biafra will come in the not too distant future. I'm very confident of that.
What does the state of Biafra mean for the people of the land?
It is the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth. What we have seen and continue to see since the creation of Nigeria is a level of backwardness and regression which nobody ever envisaged. Not even those that fought the British for independence could have foreseen what Nigeria would become in some decades down the line. What you're seeing is a new level of what I call primitivity in governance, a new level of poverty, a new level of backwardness, a new level of what they have done in essence is to destroy every fabric that sustains any modern viable democracy. By any stretch of the imagination, you couldn't possibly describe Nigeria as a civilized, viable country. All the places that I've been to touring the world, speaking to policymakers and influencers, have led me to believe that no one has any hope that Nigeria will survive. And I can assure you, it will not survive. With this reign of terrorism, this brutal repression of free speech, this clampdown on the very core tenets of democracy, that there is no way that the Fulani template for Nigeria can survive the next 5 years. I do not envisage it.
Some people have said that what you are advocating invariably puts your supporters, and for that matter, the Igbo community, in danger, not only in Nigeria, but the rest of the world. How do you react to that?
We know that freedom is very expensive. We are here in the United States of America, where people fought and died and sacrificed their lives to sustain what is arguably the most civilized modern nation on the face of the earth. We recognize those sacrifices, and it is something that we're prepared to make. If ultimately, at the end of this very process, there is only one Biafran man and one Biafran woman left, we will make do with that. They can go ahead and procreate and create the future Biafra nation. What we must state very clearly is that nobody should underestimate our resolve. We are determined. My mother have just died as a result of this very effort. Many more have gone, and we are prepared to sacrifice whatever it takes to ensure that Biafra is restored. Because it's not just the hope of, say, the Biafrans themselves. Biafra will save other ethnic groups within Nigeria, and Biafra, I believe very strongly, is the beacon and the hope and the light of Africa. Once Biafra stands as an independent entity, believe you me, you will record development and progress within the wider Africa. But without Biafra, none of that will ever happen.
Some Igbo monarchs have petitioned or have requested and urged the government to allow you to come back home and give your mother, your deceased mother, a befitting burial. What is your stance on that?
My mother died as a result of the agitation for Biafra, and she made it very clear when she was alive that anything that I have to do to ensure that Biafra is restored is what I must do. And asking anybody to allow me to go back home to bury my mother is not part of that plan and is not part of that agreement. I have not asked anyone to speak to or lobby anybody on my behalf, and I will not, and I will not accept any, should it come across to me. What we are trying to say is this: I am not interested in going back to bury my mother, if that will entail the killing, disappearance, and extrajudicial torture, as they always do, against our people. We are not, I repeat, we are not going to do anything to jeopardize the lives of our people. But one thing is certain, that my mother will be buried. I may be there, I may not be there, but it will not come via the dictates or the permission of the Fulani Cabal that currently run Nigeria.
Let me ask you this. Some of your critics are saying the advocate for the state of Biafra is inward-looking, is tribalistic, as they said, or ethnic state, and that you are seeking the disintegration of Nigeria, which they say is unacceptable because it questions the territorial integrity of the state of Nigeria.
Who created Nigeria? The British. Are they Nigerians? Are the British people, are they Africans by any stretch of imagination? Is Frederick Lugard an African? What they're trying to say in essence is that because Nigeria was created by Frederick Lugard, somehow it confers upon it certain legitimacy which Nnamdi Kanu, as a black African man, is not entitled to question. That's what I'm saying. We keep forgetting that Nigeria is an artificial creation. It never existed until Lugard came. There was nothing called Nigeria before the British set their foot on that part of West Africa. Therefore, what we are trying to do is to return us to the basics, to the way we were before they came. Some people have argued, and I would say not very convincingly, that we should just move on from here. The only thing you can give a name and it bears that name is your pet, either your cat or your dog. By accepting the name Nigeria, what we have done in essence is to say we are not capable of creating a civilized society by ourselves and for our people. Are you telling me I can go to Europe and create a nation in Europe? Are you remotely suggesting that I can come to the United States of America, carve out perhaps the state of California, and then give them whatever name that I like? Does Nigeria even have a meaning? Nigeria is a nigger area. That is the meaning of it. It is a nigger, a place for niggers. That's the meaning of Nigeria. That is the appropriate pronunciation. Are you suggesting that we should adopt such a name for our people? Why can't Africans come together and give themselves the name that they feel that they deserve? Ghana was formerly called Gold Coast, and they changed it because the people took ownership of their destiny. Why can't the same thing happen within Nigeria? Let me tell you this. The only reason why people are apoplectic about Biafra when it's mentioned and our need for freedom is they fear for their well-being in terms of their access to oil and gas in Biafra land. All the resources that sustains Nigeria, that makes it the so-called giant of Africa, is located within Biafra. The oil and gas is within Biafra. The manpower is within Biafra. So when people talk about this fear of breaking up Nigeria, it is because they are afraid that they cannot survive on their own without access to oil and gas.
I'm not cutting you short, but we have an instance where South Sudan came out of Sudan, where Sudan lost approximately over 60% of its natural resources. It's now trying to jumpstart its economy and all that. Do you want that for Nigeria as a people? A country that has lasted for nearly 60-something years. Is this what you want for the people that you've grown up with, you went to school with, the country is still thriving, a bastion of commerce on the continent?
But the same argument could be made for Ethiopia. You've just spoken to the Archbishop of the Catholic Church in Addis Ababa, extolling the virtues of the Prime Minister. The reason why he received the Nobel Prize is because Ethiopia is outward looking. They recognize and acknowledge all these various agitations. They also accept the need for people to exert their identity and for people to... If the idea is to ensure that economically Nigeria does not collapse, I have said it and I will also go on record here on VOA to say it once again, that we will be prepared to pipe oil and gas to every region within Nigeria. We are prepared to share the natural resources in Biafra land with all the relevant and component parts of Nigeria to demonstrate very clearly that our agitation has nothing to do with the economic emasculation of Nigeria, but has everything to do with our right as a people to determine where we want to go to. Ours is about self-determination. And our people must... You must also know that half of the Yoruba race is in Dahomey, in Benin Republic. That is the danger of having Europeans come to Africa to draw your boundaries for you. We are basically operating in this present day Africa, the boundaries drawn up in 1884 by Otto von Bismarck in Germany. Do you think that is fair? I don't think it is. And it is the duty and responsibility of Africans to apply African solutions to African problems. The idea that you can come to Africa and just say, you, from today you are all Nigerians, I think is laughable. You cannot do that anywhere else, only in Africa. Why must we allow it?
Before we go, Nnamdi, what do you expect for your people in the next 5 to 10 years' time in this struggle to establish what you described as a Biafran state?
My expectation is that in the not too distant future, there will be Biafra. If there is no Biafra, believe you me, the consequences will be disastrous for everyone. The Middle Belt people are suffering. Even for the very first time, they are bringing their murderous carnage into the Yoruba land. I shouldn't call it Yoruba, actually. It's Oduduwa, because we've been told that Yoruba means something completely different. It's Odua. Now they have come into the West. They have pillaged and have sacked the Middle Belt. And in Biafra land as we speak, we are under attack. Continuing with one Nigeria means surrendering our land, our way of life, to an alien culture from the Sahel. It is not something we are prepared to countenance. I assure you this. No matter, regardless of what it would take to ensure the coming of Biafra, that is exactly what we are going to do. I do not see Biafra, in fact, to be honest with you, I see Biafra coming before the next 10 years. I can say that to you very categorically. If Biafra doesn't come within the next 10 years, there will be no peace in that part of the world. Because we cannot stand idly by and watch them rape our mothers, abduct our daughters, massacre and rape at will. It cannot just happen. No sane, sensible person will be able to withstand that. Everybody knows. I don't know why the media in the West doesn't talk about what is happening in Nigeria. You have the Fulani headsmen who have come with the full and total support of the Nigerian state to wreak havoc.
The government has said that the government has stepped up efforts to increase security, bolster security in certain areas where Boko Haram and terrorist groups have been fighting. So the government is doing something about it. This is what the government is saying. Are you saying the government is not doing its job, which is constitutionally mandated to protect life and property?
What is Boko Haram operating in the north, isn't it? Boko Haram is in the north. ISIS in West Africa in the north. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb from the north. Fulani headsmen from the north. Only these people from the north is responsible for sponsoring 4 frontline terror groups around the world. Only them. And where do you have Operation Python Dance? In Biafra land. Where do you have Operation Crocodile Smile? In Biafra land. There is no singular military exercise going on in the north. They are running away from the battlefields. All the money that they get from the USA, all the military assistance they get from all over the world is geared towards suppressing civilian populations in the south. Nothing is happening in the north. When was the last time that VOA heard of any pitched battle between the Nigerian armed forces and the terrorists in the north? None. But they're down in the south, killing, pillaging, assisting, basically forming themselves as the vanguard for the terrorists to come in and take over. That is what is happening, and that's the reality on the ground. All the lies that the Nigerian government have been telling the whole world about how they are battling Boko Haram, we have been puncturing all of that. I've been in the US now for getting to over a week, and we've been doing a lot of work, I can assure you of that. And very soon all will unravel. Because now, the policymakers here, in this very great capital of a very great nation, understand what Nigeria is up to. How come they gave Mietiala 100 billion naira, which roughly translates, I think, is about 800 million naira. Oh, sorry, dollars. From where did they get that money from? This is the 4th most deadly terrorist group in the world. The government themselves are actively encouraging them by paying them to go and take over lands belonging to other people.
Well, we'll continue with this discussion another time. Nnamdi Kanu is the head of the indigenous people of Biafra, or IPOB. He joined us live from the VOA studios here in Washington, D.C.
Thank you very much.
After hearing the voice of our spirit leader, Mohammadu Buhari Nigeria, I believe you are refreshed. I hope you have come back to your senses. I hope you are stronger. The same way you are hearing his voice, that is the same way he is. He never changed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wherever he is praying for you. He is praying for me. We don't have to let him down. Remember the assignment he gave us, that we should continue to pray until when he comes back. 150 days, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to join us. The miracle is close already. The miracle is close already. If you are not praying, start praying. Whatever has happened in the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Chukwu Kabiama is aware. And Biafra is closer now than ever. Oduduwa is closer now than ever. If you have not joined the trip, join and speak on your own platform. Use your platform, no matter how small, no matter how big. Speak up and let the world hear our voice, because we are taking our freedom. We are not waiting for anybody to give it to us. Our freedom is here. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to guide and protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to strengthen him, give him good health wherever he is. May Chukwu Kabiama protect Sunday Igboho. May Chukwu Kabiama strengthen him and grant him victory in his cases. May Chukwu Kabiama guide and protect everyone that is legitimately fighting for freedom in that contraption called Nigeria, regardless of your type, regardless of your religion, wherever you are. May Chukwu Kabiama grant you freedom. We shall all be free. And very soon, we will march in victoriously into that land that we are expecting. Thank you so much for watching, and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.